Hello interwebs! Today we'll be walking through the creation of a simple Windows installer using sfxPackager. As you can see, I already have sfxPackager open, so I'll just create a new project. sfxPackager is project-based and has features to automatically apply the current date to your install file name or even to extract the version number from the software you want to install. So you can create your project once and then create new installs over time without setting anything up again. For this example, we'll be creating an installer for, you guessed it, sfxPackager. How meta. I'll start by opening an Explorer window and navigating to the location on disk where sfxPackager gets built. So we'll go there to the bin directory, and we will select and drag from this window onto sfxPackager the files that we want to install. We'll start with the exe, and we'll come back to the base directory and we'll grab the license and the readme file, and we'll drag those on as well. All right, now we can go and set our output files. So we want to go to dproj sfxPackager setup. .exe. Okay. Now we can set our output file suffix. For this particular setup, we're going to select version, although you could do build date, which would append the current date to the file name in between the file name and the extension .exe. Okay, next we're going to set our default install path, which in this case is going to be local app data sfxPackager. Oops. Now you may be wondering why I didn't choose C program files, sfxPackager, or something like that. For most Windows setups, you will find that you require administrative rights to access that directory. Now you can do that, and you can require administrator access, which then switches to, it relaunches the process with administrative rights if you approve it and have rights to do so. We'll allow the user to change it though, just in case they want to install it in the program files or somewhere else. For our caption, we'll change this to sfxPackager setup. Our welcome message, this is simply HTML content. We could enter it here, you know, H1, whatever, welcome, H1, so on and so forth. But we already have a very nice welcome HTML setup. Our icon file will go to our resource directory here. I've made a .ico file already. We'll set that. We'll go to our image file. I've already got this sfxPackager setup.bmp open. The version number, you can type in anything here. You could say today, and that's what would be displayed in the installer. Or you could type 4.75, which is the current version of sfxPackager that I'm using. But if you wanted to make sure that it was always current, you could do something like go to the place where you've got your exe that you've built, potentially, if that's what you are installing, and select that. And it will automatically pull the version number of the exe out of it and place it in our version information in the install panel. Okay, so our license message, we're going to select that. We're going to pick our license HTML. Again, all this content is simply HTML. Explore checkbox, yes. That way when we've finished our install, we'll see a little checkbox saying, would you like to explore the install directory? We say yes, and then once the install closes, it opens an Explorer window. We can also launch the application if we so chose. So we'll launch sfxPackager 64exe. That will show up also as a checkbox in the installer. Require reboot? No. Now we could enter in any of our metadata, copyright information, a description of the file. But let's go ahead and build this and see what happens. So we build it, and it says beginning sfxPackager setup. It's outputted this file. You can see that it captured the version number from sfxPackager exe or 64exe as I noted. So it's popped on this underscore 3.7.5 as the version number. It's added our exe, our license, and our README, and it's built an 8.2 megabyte file in the location that we specified. And now you'll notice this button here, the test button, has been brought up. So we can click that to bring up our install window that we just created. So you can see here it says test only. If you see that, you know that any actions that the installer does will not have any real effect on the system you're installing. It's purely for debugging and display purposes only. We can click next. We can select our directory where we want it to go. In this case, we're going to specify temp. We'll install it to our temp directory. Doesn't exist. We'd like to create before proceeding. Again, this won't really create it because we're in a test mode. We say OK. Next. Now, as I mentioned, these options here correspond to the checkboxes that we now see. So run command, we see our sfxPackager 64exe, or explore install directory. If we check or uncheck either one of those, it will, once we click finish, it'll actually do those things. Now, I did drag and drop files here, but we could, for example, come here and add an entire folder. We could add an entire folder for, let's say, the source directory or the resources. We could drag an entire folder on, and it'll ask us, do we want this to be a dynamic folder? That is, do we want to capture all of the files that are in that folder now and be explicit about it, or do we want to use wildcards? So we're going to choose dynamic folder for now, and you'll see the file name here is star. We can exclude things. We can switch to the file view, select that. The file is star. Destination path will go to the off of the base install directory, but let's say we want to install those things to res. Now it will create a res directory underneath wherever you choose to install it. We could exclude all, let's say, RC files and all BMP files and I don't know, all icon files too. Again, this is not really for shipping purposes, but just for demonstration purposes. So now we would see those files built, and we can see that it added a whole bunch more things this time. This RC2 file, sfxCaption.bin, so on and so forth. If we delete that, it will go away. All right. Now you've seen how to create a basic install package. Next time we'll be covering how to add things like dynamic HTML downloads. So rather than having a file that they download, it can be part of the install itself. So for example, the real sfxPackager installer has an option to download the source code from GitHub. You could set that up and have it be part of the setup. Or have a link in your welcome message, for example. Anyway, that's the basics. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back again soon.